Hello, folks, and welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, Joe and Love. Here to talk Forbidden Door with you guys all for AEW and Cross with New Japan. As Forbidden Door was, first of all, sorry this a little later than I intended, but nonetheless, have your review up, or we'll have it up for you guys this ASAP, but nonetheless, Forbidden Door. So I know that this edition of Forbidden Door was not as, I guess, awe-inspiring or intriguing going in as the past 2 years, certainly. Because again, Okada signed to AEW, Ospreay signed to AEW, etc. But nonetheless, we did have some intriguing matches to say, and overall, it was a fun card. Fun card, certainly, which delivered some very good matches. And, some aspects, which we'll talk about, which AEW needs to better of if they're going to continue to be doing Forbidden Door as a pay-per-view. But we'll talk about it nonetheless. But anyways, thank you guys before, and subscribe if you guys are new, or if you guys haven't already. There's that button in the corner, click it, etc. Thank you guys. Notification bell, etc. But yeah, so let's get down to business. So first off, we gotta talk about Collision, because particularly the Women's Owen Hart Cup has all of a sudden in the past 24 hours or 48 hours looked different. So on Saturday's Collision, we had Hikaru Shida versus Deonna Purrazzo in the first round, second to last match in the first round of the women's side of the deal. So this was kind of a toss-up, I think many people thought, out of all the matches in the first round. Because, we knew Willow was going to go past, Suri D. We know Chris Statlander was going to move past Mariah May on Sunday. So, yeah. So, in a bit of an unexpected, we had Hikaru Shida move past Deonna Purrazzo, and which was a solid match. We haven't seen Hikaru Shida on AEW TV in a while, but nonetheless, it's great to see her back. And it appears afterwards that Thunder Rosa and Deonna Purrazzo are going to continue their feud. So that's going to be intriguing. The thing though is, you're kind of surprised that she didn't involve herself in the match. I think that's the only thing. But nonetheless, we'll see. Then on the 0 hour pre-show for Forbidden Door, in which we got the final opening round match between Mariah May and Saraya. And And go figure. Swerve beat Mariah May a number of weeks ago. People are complaining. Mariah May gets her win back and advances and ultimately feel like the inevitable winner of the tournament. So yeah, good. Mariah May advances, right outcome. She beats Ospreay. We also had a few other pre-show matches or 0 hour matches we'll get into. So it also took place on the 0 hour pre-show where House of Black won or Kings of Black Throne, whichever, which Buddy Matthews, of course, still out, should be on his honeymoon. Again, credit to him and Rhea, although Rhea could return anytime soon on Raw, we'll see. But House of Black, Malachi Black, and Brody King, they won a Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match. Now, it's interesting because, again, they won a eliminator match against the Bang Bang Gang or Bullet Club Gold for the Trios Championships, and then Buddy Matthews was quote unquote taken out by the Patriarchy. So, for now, they're a duo. So, perhaps we can see, although it's weird, because they won the eliminator match, but on the contrary of Christian Cage saying they're not a trio anymore, then they can't fight for trios titles. So perhaps Malachi Black and Brody King venture in the tag division. We'll see. And then but yeah, because the Patriarchy are feuding with Bullet Club Gold, so we'll see how that goes. But I'm liking the feud as far as trios titles are concerned. So yeah. Next up, as well as on the 0 hour, so on Wednesday at Beach Break, we're going to get, actually from Collision, we saw a vignette, which kind of signifies Hangman Page is close to his return. Meaning, saw a house, we saw cowboy boots, we saw a guy drinking, we saw, cabinets, we saw footage of Swerve invading his house. So, the only question is, the two questions. A, when is he returning? And B, is he the wild card? Well, of course, another question is, which side is he going to be on? Last we saw him, he was a heel, against Swerve Strickland, so it totally makes sense for him to be in the wild card, be in this tournament, want to face Swerve for that world title at Wembley. We'll see. But as far as the last match on the 0 hour pre-show, the two women who will face in the semifinals on Wednesday at Beach Break, Chris Statlander, Will Nightingale, they were in a tag team match as well. Ultimately, Widow and her partner got the victory. Obviously, Chris is going to get her win back, and yeah, we'll go from there. But yeah, so Statlander versus Willow, Ryan May versus Hikaru Shida, Mariah May versus Chris Allen in the finals. So yeah. Now we move to the main card. So opening of the show, as kind of figured with this match. So I can tell people were skeptical, including me, of MJF, returning at Double or Nothing, arguably the main guy right now for AEW. And so he has a great match versus Roosh. Well, so he returned, attacked Adam Cole, and Adam Cole still hurt. We don't know when he's going to be back. Well, we know that feud. And again, it sucks for the Undisputed Kingdom because you can't really do much with them, or their momentum is not really there without Adam Cole. So it sucks. But MJF attacked Adam Cole and then had a great match with Roosh. And then we thought that was going to prelude to a rematch after Door, but instead, because the Forbidden Door aspect, I guess Tony Khan wanted another Forbidden Door like match on this card, so he went with MJF for Hechicero, which Hechicero again has been one of the better CML talents, and predominantly from what he does in the ring. And this match was okay, but definitely could have been better. And again, MJF won with Brainbuster, but skepticism, right as of right now, it doesn't look like he'll be in the Owen Hart Cup tournament, because for him to be the wild card, again, my top 3 choices for the wild card are Hangman, Christian Cage, and Ospreay. Those are my top 3. So now with MJF and Ospreay kind of eyeing off each other last 2 weeks, it's interesting to see where they lean to Wembley, certainly, because they showed in the main events MJF and Daniel Garcia eyeing the Tron and eyeing each other. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. But yeah, MJF wins, and we'll see. The Doctor is back. Dr. DMD Britt Baker, she's back. So Mercedes Moné, she faced Stephanie Valkyrie tile for tile, and meaning the AEW TBS Championship and the New Japan Strong Women's Championship were both on the line. And Mercedes won here. Solid match. Certainly very fun to see. Now, curious as to who she would face at Wembley. And as soon as she debuted, Britt Baker for however long she's been out. Certainly was a dream match, and the name you certainly want to see face Mercedes. And yeah, so after Mercedes beat Facure, Dr. Britt Baker, we heard that sound. The doctor will see you now. And the crowd, Long Island, ate up. Britt Baker was back. She looked great. She had like a back issue, I believe, the last number of months. But we saw her training, and great to see her back. Certainly have to see her wrestle because we got time till Wembley. But yeah, great to see her back, and that match is going to be great. And she's certainly a star. She certainly has an aura that AEW's been missing. Sorry guys if seem a bit off, and yeah, but anyway, so I'm gonna try to get through the rest of this, as much as I can. So sorry if I seem off. Yeah. So, yeah, can't wait to see that match. Next up, Orange Cassidy for Zack Sabre Jr. Always great to see Zack wrestle. I get it if his style of wrestling is not your cup of tea. He's a real technician, and submission specialist. So, I mean, if you're up for that, good. Again, but we've seen very good matches of him with Claudio, etc. And I'm sure that against Bryan Danielson as well. So, yeah. So, he called out Orange Cassidy a number of weeks ago. And Orange Cassidy obliged. See, here's the thing. I know this may be a little controversial, but it is true. Chris Jericho, with his new gimmick, is more entertaining now than Orange Cassidy. That's just bottom line when you see him. I mean, because with Orange Cassidy, it's the same thing. At least Jericho tries to do something different. And once again, I get it. Tony Khan, he's a fan of Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy probably has a lot of fans. But the gimmick, just the more you see it, it's just more lackadaisical singing and more boring in a way. But this match so went well as far as wrestling, and the way it ended, I tell you, props to Orange Cassidy, because he was folded up like a pretzel with some submission I don't think I've ever seen. But Zack Sabre Jr. do. I mean, he had both of Cassidy's arms like folded back like a butterfly walk, ring center, and then walked up both of Cassidy's legs, forcing Orange Cassidy to give up. I mean, cool as there. Yeah, Zack, he's one of those big stars, one of those only big stars left, basically, for New Japan that have not yet signed with AEW, but I could definitely see him soon or in the future sign with AEW. But yeah, Zack Sabre Jr. got the job done, so kudos to him there. Trios match. So, speaking of Chris Jericho, the Learning Tree, Big Bill, Jeff Cobb. I'm sure many people were wondering how would Jeff Cobb get on the show. This was the case, as he teamed with the Learning Tree and against Samoa Joe, Hook, and Shibata. And in the end, it was okay. It was an okay match. You know, again, people complaining about the trios division of AEW. Well, at least they're trying with trios. So, yeah. Fuck. Alright, well, next. TNT Championship ladder match for the vacant TNT Championship. Which, by the way, the final participant, which was El Phantasmo, he apparently qualified, so is El Phantasmo, Konosuke Takeshita, Leo Rush, Mark Briscoe, Jack Perry, and one other guy I'm missing, but yeah. You know, oh yeah, Dante Martin. Dante always finds himself in these TNT folds, but never. It's weird. He always finds himself. Well, he's a high flyer. And so, go figure, he's a high flyer in this match again. But yeah, so. Now, truthfully, I think we could definitely say, you know, you wanted Takeshita to win, but ultimately Jack Perry, you know, the way he's been booked, you know, the way, I mean, it wouldn't have been surprised if he won it from Adam Copeland before Copeland got hurt. But nonetheless, Jack Perry won the ladder match, and there was one brutal spot where Takeshita, he had a blue thunderbomb to Phantasmo off the apron to 2 tables. Interesting spot there. So, but yeah, Jack Perry wins. The Elites currently have all drenched in gold. So, I mean, if you want them to be opposable threats in this, them taking over the company per se, then gotta have them all in gold. Even though Okada hasn't defended his title in a while. Same with the Bucks, which, yeah. Anyway, Jack Perry, right outcome. Trios match. Another trios match. I was surprised they had multiple trios matches on the show, but nonetheless, so Young Bucks, Okada versus the Acclaimed, and Hiroshi Tanahashi. There is one notable line from Max Caster's rap, which I would have said it if I recorded this earlier, but because of circumstances, I'd rather not say. Just because there's been... But you guys know it is... yeah. Personal matter, but yeah. Personal matters. Why I'm trying to get through this. But yeah. So, anyway, so we get this match. Again, was it really needed to be on the show? I mean, yeah, Bucks and Okada, you have to be on the show, but yeah, I don't know. Tanahashi, at least it was a trios match. At least there, but yeah. But we are going to have the Bucks versus the Acclaimed for the tag team titles before Blood and Guts. So yeah. AEW Women's World Championship match. We had Toni Storm versus Mina Shirakawa. All I'll say is, if you're not a fan of Mina by now, then I don't know why you wouldn't be. Anyway, that's all I'll say. Mariah May. The question going in this match was, would Mariah May have tensions, basically, in the sense of being loyal to both, but... You know, Mina did say in the press conference that you had to choose, or in the contract signing that you have to choose. And last week she did get blasted over the head with a champagne bottle by Mina, although accidental. Yeah. But we didn't really get that much. It was kind of a more traditional wrestling match between the two. Toni Storm ultimately won with a Storm Zero pin Mina in the ring. So there you go. After the match, though, they made up, and ultimately seems like bygones are bygones. If you saw what you saw. But yeah, so apparently they're now a women's trio. You know, all in good graces. Still curious to see how this unfolds as, again, Mariah May transitions more into the Owen Hart Cup tournament for the women. We'll see. The main events. Swerve Strickland versus Will Ospreay for the AEW World Championship. This had a number of combustible elements to talk going into this. You know, Swerve, was this the time to give Ospreay his first loss? You know, it's like going into, I'm sure many thought, including me, and we'll still see, but going consensus was that Ospreay was going to headline Wembley. And, you know, with him being as hot as pretty much anyone in the company, it's like, huh. But at the same time, he's been just AEW signed for a few months, so less than a year, and Swerve has only held the title for 2 months, so it would kind of feel like a slap in the face for Swerve, so it's kind of conflicting. But at the same time, Ospreay will be world champion, just not on Sunday. But very fun match, it was a big fight feel, Ospreay came out with a certain, costume gap for his entrance. Swerve, he was wearing these boxing trunks. It was certainly different, but yeah, different, bigger feel, I would say. But yeah, it was a fun match, and not much to say. So Callis, so Ospreay we know is a face. Don Callis tried to give Ospreay the screwdriver, and Callis and Nana, had a rift, and ultimately Nana distracted Ospreay. So Ospreay then used the screwdriver and Swerve the count up, hit a brutal house call sidekick to the face for a near fall, but ultimately Swerve get the win here with the JML driver. He's probably calling it something different, but anyway, fun match and fun main event. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. Sorry guys if this wasn't a very emotional or exciting review. Just heard some sucky family news, so yeah, but here for the review. But I hope you guys enjoyed Forbidden Door. Hope you guys listened to my take on how Forbidden Door went, and yeah, so a lot of matches. Didn't need this amount of matches, I don't know, but we know with Tony Khan and with these pay-per-views being like $50, that tries to load them up as much as you can, to I guess make the consumer make it feel like it's worth their while. But a lot of matches anyway. So, but key is certainly, for AEW to do better booking going into this pay-per-view for years to come if they want to continue it, because the number of these matches did not really have credible build. That's the only thing, but we'll see. But yeah, there were obviously matches that were good. The ladder match, the World Championship match, etc. But both women's matches delivered, so we'll see. But anyways, guys, thank y'all for joining me. The news, though, for AEW New Japan. So they announced that there will be a joint event January 2025 in the Tokyo Dome between New Japan, Stardom, CMLL, AEW, etc. So that'll be great and great news for both sides and all sides included. So yeah, but again, thank you guys. See you guys next time. So Wednesday is beach break. 4th of July is Thursday, so we'll see if I get the review up either on Thursday or Friday, but we'll see, guys. But thank you all at least for joining me to the podcast. Peace, guys. Be safe.